Welcome back to the course. In this section, I'm going to teach you what you need to do to get a high score. So first we need to understand how the writing task 1 is scored. So let's take a look. Basically, you're going to be graded on 4 different categories. In the IELTS, we call these band descriptors. So essentially, you have 4 different band descriptors on which you're going to be graded. We have the 4 band descriptors listed here. The first is task achievement. The second is coherence and cohesion. The third is grammatical range and accuracy. And finally, we have lexical resource, which is your vocabulary. Note that each one of them accounts for 25% of your grade. Okay, so how is your overall grade calculated? Well, the examiners look at what score you got for each of these band descriptors. Each band descriptor category is scored on a scale of 0 to 9, and then this score is averaged out, and that is your total score. Let us now explore the band descriptors in a little bit more detail. So first of all, they are a great resource for preparing for your exam. And why that is because it will give you a very good sense of how IELTS examiners are evaluating your test and how they assign band scores to your writing. If you read the official band descriptors list, it will tell you exactly what band you are going to get depending on the things that you do or don't do. So let's take a look at the official list of the Writing Task 1 band descriptors. So as you can see, here we have the public version of the IELTS band descriptors. So what it tells you is what you need to do in exactly each category to get a certain band score. So if you do the things that are listed under band 9, then you're going to get a band 9 for your score. On the other hand, if you do things that are listed under band 6 or band 5, then you're going to get a band 6 or a 5 depending on the things that you're doing or not doing. So I suggest that you take a look at this official list. I'm going to provide you with a link to this so that you can easily find it and read it in your own free time. But just to make all of this easier for you, I've went ahead and made an outline of all the important things that you need to be doing to get a great score. So let's take a look at that. If you want to get a good score on the IELTS task achievement category, the first thing that you need to do is satisfy all the requirements of the task. What this means is that you need to answer everything that the question is asking you for. The second thing that you need to do is provide a fully developed response. So make sure that you give all the information that the question is asking you for and that you present, highlight, and illustrate all the key information. And make sure that you give a clear overview of the main trends, differences, or stages of the infographic. What about coherence and cohesion? That's our second band descriptor. To get a good score in this band descriptor, you have to make sure that when you use cohesive devices, they attract no attention. What this means is that you have to use the cohesive devices naturally. They should not feel like you're forcing them into your writing. They should appear naturally and fluently. Next, you need to know how to do paragraphing. We'll talk a little bit more about this later down the road. Then you also need to know how to sequence your information and your ideas logically. This means that you have to clearly arrange your ideas and your thoughts in a logical manner and in a manner that the reader can understand. Finally, make sure that you use a wide range of cohesive devices. This means that you should not be overusing or underusing certain words or phrases. Make sure that you use a wide range and be sure to not repeat the same word too many times. Now let's talk about the grammatical range and accuracy. To get a good band score in this category, you have to make sure that you use a wide range of structures. We'll discuss these structures in more detail later down the road, but to give you a brief idea of what I mean by structures, you have to use a variety of sentences such as compound sentences, complex sentences. You have to use different types of conjunctions in your writing, maybe use some relative clauses, some passive voice, and maybe a wide range of tenses. Now, in your writing, you don't have to use all the structures that are available to you. You just need to show enough structures to show that you have command over the English grammar. All right, so we'll discuss more of that in the future videos. Next, make sure that your errors are very minor. If you make small typos, small mistakes, that's generally okay. You can still get a great band regardless of the little errors that you make. But in general, you should try to avoid as many mistakes as possible. Basically, the majority of your sentences have to be error-free. That means that over 50% of your sentences cannot have any mistakes in them. And finally, you have to correctly use your punctuation. So punctuation includes things like the comma, apostrophe, full stop, and so on. The last band descriptor is your lexical resource, which is your vocabulary. So to do a good job in this category, you have to use a wide range of vocabulary words, use a lot of different vocabulary words, different phrases, and even use some uncommon words. This will also increase your score. Make sure that you use a variety of word formations and collocations. Collocations are basically groups of words that often appear together. We'll discuss all of this in much more detail in the future videos. Next, make sure that you convey the precise meaning. What this means is that you have to use your words purposefully. Basically, you should use a word to mean exactly what you want it to mean. Finally, make sure that you produce as few errors as possible in your spelling and word formation. So that concludes this video. I'll see you in the next section, in which we'll talk about how this course is structured and what to expect in the following videos. I'll see you there.